Scurvy had always had a way with people around him, be it the guard by the citadel or the pretty woman in her red dress who always gave him an extra look. He always knew exactly what to say to people. Scurvy's trick was to say the first thing that came to mind, and it came to him in an instant. He loved the city of Guthendale, and he loved the gifts he had. At night, he would dream the most vivid dreams, impossible to determine whether you were asleep or awake, living it as if it was reality. Tonight, Scurvy was on an expedition together with his imaginary brother in the flourishing jungle of Asgula. Out of nowhere, the dream snaps away into the thin air in a matter of seconds, and Scurvy wakes up in his bed, back in Guthendale. He looks around in confusion, only to see a small man. Not small, a tiny little man in a beard and purple robe. They stare at each other for a moment. Scurvy looked at the man in confusion. All the while, the tiny man observes him intensely. After a 10-second stare down, the tiny man asks him, "Who made you?" By the end of the sentence, Scurvy's body begins to tremble, and in a matter of seconds, he remembers. He remembers everything. He sees his origin. From the devious craftsmanship of Neveroth's acolytes, to Neveroth manifesting the curse into his body, to then suddenly waking up in the city of Guthendale. His gift of dreams had been nothing more than a diversion from Neveroth to collect his memories of how the human race lived, how Neveroth could influence them and gain their belief, and the way he knew what to say to people. It was all a part of his creation. The Neveroth acolytes were trying to craft a being that looked identical to the human race, but was nothing more than written letters on parchment. He knew what to say to people, because it was his destiny to know. He was not born, but made. He had never been human. He was merely an experiment. He suddenly reaches the end of his memories, and realizes that the tiny man is still waiting for him to answer his question. "Who made you?" Scurvy answers in an instant, like he always does. "Neveroth, Lord of Possession and Control." The tiny man can't help but hide his smile when he responds. "And what do you think of Neveroth?" Scurvy answers, "I may have been created by the hand of Neveroth, but I will never be a slave to him again."